Hey everybody, rocking with the Rock Dog, standing in my kitchen again. Hey, we're going to show you the things we found yesterday when I found that drill bit. A couple things. This thing was on my porch before yesterday, but it's pretty cool, so I'm going to show it to you too. But these are the type of things we find in the creek wherever we find these arrowheads where we go. And once again, these are all laying right next to the road. But there's that big spike digger deal that came with the drill bit yesterday. There's a pretty nice big old scraper. It's got your hand finger hold up here too. On the back side, it's got where your hands go. There's a pretty nice little hand axe. It's been beveled down there on the end. A lot of them things have this tail on them to hold on to. You can see here's a knife that's like that. This actually goes in your left hand where my camera's at, but they just do the edge to get it sharp, and then this whole handle here really gives you a lot of leverage. Here's some more knife blades that we picked up out of the creek. Of course, they're all going to be broke, but here's a nice left-handed one right here that goes right in your hand really good. Of course, most of them almost always broke. This one would have been great if it would have been as long as I think it was, because it even had a really good tang on it down there. Here's a nice piece of a flake that could have been used for a knife, and here's the heartbreaker of the day right here, because that was just sticking out and it looked like it could have been whole, but we got lucky with that Calf Creek and another one a couple weeks ago, so that's how it is. Here's a sweet little axe head. It's been chipped down pretty good. It's not for, but it can be used as a scraper there, see? And it can go tight, get tied over a stick like that, and you can do it that way. These are just the assorted scrapers and maybe preforms that we almost always find. Here's a real nice big flat scraper, it looks like. See, it's got the finger spot. A lot of times these just pop off a rock. If there's a really round rock, it's sitting in the water and it's zero outside and the water's moving in a riffle, that will just pop right off the rock in that perfect size piece. So a lot of times these aren't scrapers, but if them people found them and put a mark on it right there where they can hold it in their hand, then you got a good chance it was a tool at one time. Super creek eroded scrapers. This one here is a nice knife. This is a left-handed one. See, it's got the little tang on the end where your hand goes to, and your thumb there to give you a lot of pressure. Here's one that's got a fossil in it. This would be more like a smoothing stone type deal. You can see where whoever used it, the grease from their hand, wore it slick right there. A few hard stone things. These always roll right to the middle of the deep spot in a creek. If there's a hole of water out there that's 3 feet deep and there's no deep water around, get out there and move that stuff around, because this is where these round things like this come from. Don't know what these are. This one's just way too perfectly round to just be a normal rock. This was the end of something that was pretty nice. Probably a grinding thing now that fits in your hand. You got the place for your thumb right there. Then you can just grind that in a poultice thing. And here's a nice little hand axe. You got the sharp spot right there, see? Goes in your hand just like that. Fits almost perfect. Then you can just grind stuff, chop reeds and stuff a lot with tools like that. Anyway, that's kind of what you can find in a couple hours in a creek around here. Once you know what you're looking for, they're easy to spot. Once you can spot these, then you might find these. But here's the two coolest things on the table. Look at this thing right here. This is like a little eagle carving that's looking over its back. And this one right here is even cooler. This is a snake. He's got his nose lifted up. He's got an eye. He's got a pit. He's got a hump like always. And even when you look down at him, his head's triangular, just like the copperheads around here. This side's not much. But this is a pretty cool one, the way it's uplifted and everything. Look at that. Lots and lots of snake effigies out there. They were fascinated with snakes and birds. And they were scared to hell death of the bears and the dire wolves and the American lions that were here. A lot of those too if you start looking. Always look on the ends of your scrapers. These don't have them, but a lot of the bear, they'll get a bear face on them. I don't know why they do that, but there's almost always a bear nipped on the edge of a scraper. if you find some on your scrapers now that you know that, let me know. And a lot of times they're lions. I mean, I'm not saying this is anything, but there's just an awful lot of that. Okay, everybody, Rock Dog out. Here's another nice little glassy finger knife. These things are really super easy to sharpen up, even if they look dull, because all this stuff's been in the creek so long, it's never sharp. I mean, this just came out in the rain, is why that's like that. That would have been so sweet if that would have been whole, but even though it wasn't, they still chipped a spot right here for your thumb to go in after it was broken, used it, and then this little edge on there goes up against your hand, so you got lots of force when you cut something. You could take the hide off of an animal up to the size of an elk with this in no time. Practically right now, if the animal was still warm and hot, because they peel off really easy. You don't need a sharp knife, but that would get right in there underneath that hide, poking it, and come straight off without damaging it. All right, everybody, Rock Dog out. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching, and I really appreciate it. Gonna get 1,000 subscribers, or some people will push the button. I got 250. Let's get her going.